All right, bell work. We're doing calculator active stuff here. They gave me velocity. Which of the following statements must be true about the motion of the particle at t equals 1? And basically, it breaks down to two things. Okay, am I moving left or right, or is the acceleration positive or negative? What am I looking for on a velocity equation to determine if I'm moving left or right? Velocity, it either needs to be positive or negative. That is going to tell me if I'm moving left or right. Is your velocity positive or negative? So that is one decision I need to make. And then obviously the other decision we need to make is acceleration. What am I looking for on velocity to talk about acceleration? Increasing or decreasing, or what if I were looking at a graph? Yeah, we'd look at the slope and decide if it's positive or negative. Those are the two distinctions we're trying to make here. Okay? So we're thinking about velocity and acceleration. We're looking at the graph and then at its slope. So let's do that. Hit y equals. I typed in my equation. Square root of x minus cosine e to the x. Make sure you're in radians. If you're not in radians, it's not going to work. I'm going to hit the window button. I'm carrying at t equals 1. So since I'm trying to look at t equals 1, I just made my window really small. My x min is 0, my x max is 2. And I just narrowed down my y min and y max to negative 5 and 5. Am I good with that? Hit graph. There's my graph. We are answering these questions about t equals 1. So if I go second, calculate the value. So second calc the value at x equals 1. I like doing that because it'll just put an x on my screen. That way I know exactly where I'm looking at. But there's x equals 1. This is a velocity graph. Is velocity positive or negative? Positive. It's a velocity graph. It's above the x-axis. So velocity is positive. Boom. We answered this question. Velocity is positive. Now we want to talk about acceleration. This is a velocity graph. What is true about acceleration at 1? It's great. Velocity is increasing. The slope is positive, so that means acceleration is positive. Acceleration is positive because it had positive slope. So what is my answer? Show me with your fingers. 1 for A, 2 for B, 3 for C, 4 for D. The answer is B. I'm moving to the right if velocity is positive, and obviously I have positive acceleration because I have positive slope. Make sense on that one? Now let's go to the second one because this is a good question. Find the acceleration of the particle when speed is 1. Find the acceleration of the particle when speed is 1 for the first time when t is greater than 0. So the ultimate goal here is I'm trying to find acceleration when speed is 1. What am I looking for on velocity to talk about speed? Absolute value of velocity is speed. Remember we talked about that on Friday? The absolute value of velocity is speed. So if I want the speed to be 1, what does that tell me about velocity? If I want the speed to be 1, what does that tell me about velocity? It could be 1, or it could be negative 1. That's what speed means. Speed means, velocity. It could be positive or negative 1. So look at this. I'm going to graph 1, and I'm going to graph negative 1. I want to graph both things because I want to see when is speed equal to 1. It could be positive or it could be negative. For my graph, am I ever equal to negative 1? No. So in this case, negative 1 didn't matter, but it could have. It could have been a big jump in here, but it's not on this one. All right, so I don't need that negative 1 in here. I can delete that now. But there's my graph. There's 1. It said find the acceleration the first time speed is 1. Tell me when the speed is 1. Tell me now. Boom, right there. Speed is 1 because I'm equal to 1. So I'm going second, calculate. What am I going to calculate? Intersect, because I want to know when they cross. I'm going to move this cursor to where I think they intersect. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to hit enter again on the second curve, hit enter again on the guess. There is my answer, 0.590. Is that the answer to this question? We just answered when is the speed 1. I didn't answer this part of the question. Find the acceleration. So what do I need to do to find the acceleration? Find the slope at that number. So remember, you have two options here. If you are lost with your calculator, on your paper, write down all of those decimals. Remember, you cannot round it. Okay? Just write down all of those numbers. I hate writing it down, so I'm not going to. Okay, remember the other way you could do this. I'm going to go second quit. I'm going to hit my X button. Since the last X value I found is going to stay as X for right now. So my X button, and I'm going to store it, the STO button, I'm going to store it as alpha A. So by doing that, I'm taking that X value and I'm saving it in my calculator. Now I don't have to write down those dumb decimals. If you want to write them down, write them down. But I would much rather just have them already typed into my calculator. Okay, so I stored that as alpha A. I want to find acceleration, so what do I need to do? Derivative, good. Math, 8, numerical derivative. dx. Inside the parentheses, I'm typing my equation. So I'm going alpha f4 y1. I'm typing in that equation. And x is going to be equal to, you could do A, or if you already got it typed in, you could just go up there and boom, there it is. That is my answer. 2.4. How many decimals should I go to? Always 3 decimals. 2.406 is my answer. I found acceleration at 0.59. That is my answer to that question. Questions with something we did there? All right. The